I don't have words. I don't understand.
What the? How do you fuck up that bad?
Doesn't even make sense.
Have you seen all the movies? You read all the books?
I haven't read the books, so I've seen all the movies.
I've seen all the movies. I haven't read any of the books. I know quite a bit of the story though. What do you think of The Hobbit and like all the other movies? They're pretty well made, right?
Yeah, I think so. I prefer the Lord of the Rings movies over The Hobbit.
Yeah, so have you played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War?
No, I haven't.
So in Shadow of Mordor, or I want to say maybe Shadow of War, one of those two games, there's like a scene where there's like Gollum there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of like a side character, like it's like a side quest kind of thing. You're just like searching for him. And he's pretty well modeled. Like he doesn't look ugly or... I mean, he looks ugly, but like...
It's not like basic NPC blocky kind of...
Yeah, it doesn't look unnatural. Like he looks kind of like the movies, you know?
Yeah.
So like in the movies, he's kind of old and like he has like very little hair and like his face is fairly well defined.
Yeah.
You're about to see this. A game dedicated to be just Gollum.
Alright.
Like it's in the title.
Yeah.
Questions. 3 ways to
Basically, you play as him and his backstory?
Knife.
Yeah, no, it's just...
Effective answer. Which one do you think we should apply?
He does look like he has quite a bit of hair.
Like, see, like his face just looks weird.
The Dark Lord himself has touched and tortured. What did the Dark Lord want from him?
Don't tell them, precious.
You are my monster now. And monsters don't.
I feel like his eyes are way too big.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like the proportions are just not there.
Like they stylized him.
Cruel men. What is Smeagol
But like,
done to them?
also the hair is like too much hair.
Yeah. That was my first thought. Way too much hair. They got like a bowl cut thing going on.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like cameos in the game. I feel like they did better in Shadow of War or whatever. A game that just cameos Gollum versus like a full this is his story kind of thing. I found that hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm digging on his character model either.
He just looks like a little kid. Like it doesn't look like a hobbit.
He's got feet, hands.
Like he's supposed to be kind of, I don't know, more deformed. Like he just looks like a little kid here. Yeah, I'm not sold on like this is Gollum.
Cause he's supposed to look like weathered and...
Yeah, like his face has like natural like color or something. Like he's supposed to be like torn. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's just supposed to be like a hobbit, right? But like who's lived in a cave for years.
Yeah, he looks almost too clean. I don't know, just something about it.
And his skin tone is too fleshy instead of like the paleness to
Yeah,
it.
he's supposed to be like out of the sun forever.
Yeah, because he almost has like a bluish color skin tone. But in here it's just like a regular...
Yeah, he just looks like a regular kid. I don't know, with like...
I mean, maybe this is like not to where he's up to that point. Maybe it's to where he's just starting.
I just don't like his
to turn.
character model.
And his eyes are way too big.
Yeah, his eyes are way too big. I don't know.
He looks very different.
Every once in a while, a game comes along that's so disgraceful in its launch that it shames the entire medium of gaming. That, ladies and gentlemen, is The Lord of the Rings Golem. A Metascore of 36 from 33 critic reviews, 40%, and only 4% of critics would recommend this game. Frankly, I'm shocked that this number isn't 0. And on Metacritic itself, you can see that there are a handful of sort of in the 70s and 50s, but a lot of them sit in the 40s, 30s. There's a 0 even. This is the spectrum that we're looking at here. It's mostly in the red. But at the very least, news outlets are having fun coming up with headlines for their reviews because it's the only way to have fun with this game. We don't want it. We don't needs it. I hates it. Boil it, mash it, stick it in the bin, so on and so forth.
Damn.
One news outlet straight up couldn't review the game because the game was in such poor state. Digital Trends tweeted, "We tried to review The Lord of the Rings Golem on PS5, but an uncharacteristically poor pre-release state made that task impossible. And here's the gaming section lead at Digital Trends, Giovanni Colantonio, further elaborating by stating, first time we've ever really done this, but the version of Lord of the Rings Golem we were given to review on PS5 was so non-functional ahead of its day one patch that we could not dignify it with a scored review in good faith. Basically, it's a 0 out of 10.
What?
So it's like not only does it not even look that great, it also plays like shit.
Damn.
So this game is just literal trash.
You said we could not give it a review score, bruh.
I mean, you can't. If you can't do anything in the game, well, like, how are you going to review it?
What the? How do you fuck up that bad where it's just like...
It's just not functional.
This is not even a game.
Wow. That's crazy.
I didn't even... That's why I don't get excited for shit no more, man. They just ruin things. Like what? Even the Rings of Power, right? Like, it's okay, but it's not for the amount of money they're spending. That they're not getting their money's worth.
Yeah, and not for the product that they're putting. Like, as a show, it's not bad, but as a Lord of the Rings show,
Yeah.
Like,
you just gotta... Everything's already written for you. You just gotta alley-oop, you know? Just like...
yeah, but they wanted to go their own direction and make, like, write their own story.
And they're fucking it up.
I haven't even seen past, like, what was it, 2-3 episodes? It could have gotten better. I don't know.
This game is so bad that already it's become the worst reviewed game of the year, and it's the worst reviewed game on PlayStation 5. Looking at Steam, the user reviews don't fare any better, with the game currently sitting at a mostly negative review score, a 34% from 128 user reviews, and the ones that are positive, a lot of them are just kind of trolling, giving it a thumbs up, but with quippy text that is very sarcastic and just makes fun of the game. And here is where things get really egregious. This game is being sold at $50, and if you want to get the real complete edition of the game, you actually have to buy the Precious Edition, which is $60, because this comes...
The Precious Edition?
Including Sindarin VO. This is more authentic voiceover, as it is stated here in the description. The Sindarin VO DLC, which adds a touch of authenticity to dialogue with the elves. Lore-accurate dialogue is locked behind a paywall, which is freaking insane, and basic features like a lore compendium, which tends to come with any AAA game worth its salt that has an expansive lore.
What the fuck?
Imagine you're in John Wick, right?
Yeah.
You're in John Wick. You see that they're supposed to be speaking Italian or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just speaking in plain English, and then they hit you with the $10 extra for you to get a fucking Russian accent on there.
Like, that should just... I don't have words. I don't understand. You want authenticity? Pay some more money. What?
Pay extra $10 for us to care about our fucking voice actors.
Doesn't even make sense.
Or you can buy these components separately for a grand total of $26.95 on top of the $50. At that price point, at $50 to $60, the standards are real high. We're not talking about a $20 indie game or a $40 AA game. We're talking about AAA standards with that $60 price point.
It feels like they're starting to get to a point to where companies are trying to just sell you parts of the game specifically if you want it. Like, eventually they're going to try to just cut out all the music from the game and say, hey, if you want music in your game, you can buy it for like $10-15. You want actual voice acting in the game? $10-15. Oh, but the base game is $60 to $80 already, but you need to have all this stuff to actually enjoy the game and enjoy the experience of the game. Like, what are we doing?
Imagine Final Fantasy with like no music.
Oh, I think the music is pretty much what makes it.
Or like
right?
Elden Ring without no boss fight music. Like, that's what it is, right? Like, I don't know. It's just, it ruins the atmosphere. What the fuck are you doing?
They're going to start making you pay for specific character battles.
Oh, you want a cool boss fight? Nah, that one's DLC.
Otherwise, you're just going to be walking around doing nothing. You need to buy this shit. You need to buy this experience.
Oh, you want to level up? That's DLC.
You want a skill tree? DLC. Fuck.
And yet, what we're looking at here is a game that is more in line with low quality, low effort shovelware that you tend to see on Steam. The utter audacity to charge $60 for this is mind-boggling. The developers surely knew that this game would not live up to standards, and yet they decided to go ahead with the game's launch and decided to charge a full price for it. To say that on Steam, Golem is already one of the worst user-reviewed games of all time, and based on Steam data, it is apparent that people are steering clear of this game, judging by the fact that the all-time peak during the game's launch was a mere 758 players. 225 players are playing right now for some reason. My condolences. But yeah, it's safe to say that this game is not going to sell particularly well. It didn't look attractive in the marketing material, and the reviews reinforce all of the concerns. These apologies are becoming more and more meaningless as the games industry refuses to learn from their mistakes and continue to screw over customers and overcharge them for products that should not have been launched the way they were. Here's what Daedalic Entertainment, the development studio, had to say. Dear players who would like to sincerely apologize for the underwhelming experience many of you have had with the Lord of the Ring Golem upon its
At this
release.
point, I'm gonna wonder, bro.
Apology
Like,
not accepted.
why bother? You know, just like you're not gonna put an effort. Just like why bother?
Yeah,
Why?
like how much money did they put into actually making this game?
Like, just make a mobile game. Just like do whatever the fuck you want. Just like should make it free. Do whatever you want. Like just like why? Reviews are there.
Yeah.
Anybody that's like carrying like even the slightest like. Who's excited? Like, oh, I wanted a Golem game.
I mean, it sounds like an interesting concept, but like they didn't really follow through very well.
I don't think so. I don't think your little side character can make a whole game. I don't know.
I mean, they had like a whole backstory for him and everything. It's just, I don't know if they actually were trying to make a good game or if they just wanted to sell a game. You know, they're like, oh, Lord of the Rings, Gollum. People like Gollum.
I feel like
they
this
could
just-
sell it.
They don't. I don't think they
Doesn't need to be good.
understand how much this ruins the reputation. Just like because like the more games like this come out, the less people are willing to pay eventually. Like some people are gonna be in, like really dumb and just buy it anyways.
Yeah.
But like overall, like you release enough of these games, people just won't do it.
This game is in such piss poor state that it's actually a freaking insult, and there's no good game underneath the technical issues. It's just an awful game with awful technical issues that's being sold at $50 to $60. The fact that they haven't freaking lowered the price point at this point or found some way to make it up to anyone and are just putting words out there is doubly insulting.
that
We acknowledge
Cyberpunk
and
is,
deeply
like,
regret that
all
the
up
game did
behind
not
him is
meet the
kinda
expectations we set for ourselves or for our dedicated community. Please accept our sincere apologies for any disappointment this may have.
But you still put it out. Yeah, I mean, they have testers for that. They have people who overview this shit and test the game to make sure it's good. Maybe they skip that step.
Pause. Like, no, enough is enough. You released this game in bad faith, knowing full well what you were releasing and what you were selling to customers for a full price of $50 to $60. This was not some whoopsie daisies mistake. You willfully set out to screw over customers to make money from this product that does not deserve to launch or be priced at that price point.
No, all this is bullshit. We'll just end it there, guys. You know what's up. Fucking it's bullshit.
You still gonna play the game?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I haven't actually played any of the games up to this point, so I doubt I'm gonna play this one. Alright,